Toho says, look, we got a lot of ambition going right now, man. Toho Animation officially announces plans to produce 30 anime seasons per year by 2032. It plans to shift to a full-blown mass production phase. The goal is to move TV anime from being a secondary revenue source compared to movies to being the pillar of the company. Okay. And there goes some of the anime. Like I was saying, you got Spy Family in there, My Hero there, Dr. Stone. That's right, Dr. Stone.
Free Run.
JJK.
Yep, Free Run.
They produce some of the best anime out there. They're saying they're going to do 30 seasons per year. That's roughly seven? Yeah, 7 per season. That would be 28, season. Then a couple extra. Is this doable?
Oh man. That's a very good question. No, to me, they've been pushing out so much content as it is, and they work year round. I mean, from my understanding, right? Name like those drawers, they're always working year long. So, I mean, it's doable as long as they don't get burnt out. I hope that it doesn't burn them out as far as mentally to not be able to, finish other projects. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, because this is a big task. Or unless they're going to bring on some more, animation writers, some more anime drawers, that's another thing that they could be able to do as well. But they're going to have to beef up their production rate to be able to, compensate for this. So I'm interested in seeing it. I mean, this almost sounds like Paramount's kind of thing, where Paramount was talking about, hey, we're going to drop 30 movies in a year. Okay, we got to wait and see what you're going to do and how good the content is going to be. So, hey, I have no issues with it. If you feel that adamant to be able to want to, complete this task, handle it. Let's see if you could do it.
I think that's crazy. That's a crazy goal right there, man. 30 per year. And, it might be a little like a season could be like 12 episodes instead of like the 24 episodes. So it could be something like that. But still, I mean, that's a lofty goal. I would love to see them pull this off. But like you said, Angel, you start wondering, is the quality going to suffer? Are they going to be doing some T-bait? All right, style animation. Are we going to be getting some One Punch Man season 3 levels of animation?
We can get some Invincible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what are we going to get out of this? Are they going to ramp up the production, but then also cut back on the quality? Because the quality is what we really care about, And this is what makes me a little bit nervous about it, man, because they know that. And we're going to talk about it in a minute. They know that anime is just growing. It's just getting bigger. That's why these studios are starting to shift. Like Toho is like Godzilla, right? Like that's what they're known for, right? They're known for Godzilla. They're known for live action. They ain't known. I mean, they're anime producing. Don't get it twisted. But you heard them in this previous tweet that they said right here. They said, yeah, man, we're going to move TV anime from being a secondary revenue source compared to movies to being the pillar of the company, because anime is where it's at. Everybody's watching anime. Anime is global, and it's cheaper to produce than a movie.
This is very ambitious, very lofty. I got to give them credit. They're aiming for the moon, trying to shoot for the stars. I think I see why they gave themselves the 6-year goal there, because they're not just going to charge full steam into it. They're going to hopefully basically say, okay, look, we're going to take it step by step, try and build it up. And I think at the very least, what they want to do is they may want to try and have like a group of people handle all that stuff. So this could go back to what we talked about in the last show, where they want to try and develop and like get more people in there. If they do that right, that 30 is going to be a realistic target, probably even before 2032.
They're not going to just try to rush and go, from, what they're doing now to 30. Okay. So here's where it says Japanese entertainment company Toho revealed its expansion strategy for the anime business as a part of its financial results presentation for the fiscal year ending February 26, published on April 14. As reported by GameBiz, the company is looking to increase and accelerate its output while further strengthening its Toho animation brand and other in-house studios, aiming to build a supply system that would be able to deliver 30 anime seasons or cores, meaning about 12 episodes broadcast continuously over a 3-month period per year. According to the presentation, Toho will be shifting its anime production towards a full-blown mass production phase. By February of 2029, the company expects to reach a quota of about 20 anime seasons released per year. All right, so they're saying by like 3 years from now, 20. All right. And then aiming to achieve a production scope of 30 anime seasons per year by 2032. So they're going to, slowly build. They're not going straight for the 30. They're going to say, all right, let's try to get 20. And then probably, okay, let's see if we can do 25. And then let's see if we can do 30. They're going to try to, slowly ramp it up. While this means Toho and the studios will be pumping out an increasing number of anime titles, the final goal of the strategy is to strengthen the revenue base for its IPs through multifaceted monetization. This will also include long-term revenue from IP serialization, streaming, overseas expansion, and merchandise. So they're pouring money into this because they're saying it's not just the anime. All right, it's not just producing anime. We're going to hit it from every possible level. Okay, the IP serialization. What does that mean? Live action. Okay, let's have these things moved over to live action as well. Streaming, obviously, overseas expansion, obviously, and merch. So they're trying to hit every major IP that they own on multiple levels, not just producing the anime, but hitting it everywhere possible that they can go. It's a possibility that they could do this, but it's just very, very ambitious. Name, do you have confidence in Toho that they're going to pull this off without a hitch?
I think it's going to be more difficult than we all realize because they're giving themselves a lot of time, but it's still like I sent a post, a tweet earlier from I think it was an animator or an animation director who was complaining that she has her workload is like way more nowadays because on top of having to animate, she has to cover for like inexperienced animators' mistakes, and I was wondering if that's a problem with like their internal training, like they're so short staffed that they just bring in whoever, or that they're outsourcing so much that they can't like quality control, as we saw with the Ascendance of a Bookworm, like season 4 opening controversy, where they had AIs in the background because they outsourced part of the opening animation to a Vietnamese company. So I think it can be doable. The question, like you guys have been saying, is whether the quality will hold up. Like, are we going to start seeing more T-bait, One Punch Man season 3, or Invincible levels of animation? Or are they going to start like waiting longer? Because like you can give them all that time, but what if they just like wait until the last minute and they're like, oh shoot, gang, 3 months left, we got to throw something together, Like
get it out there, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I think was it Stacy or Angel? One of y'all said that it reminds you of what Paramount wants to do. Like Paramount, we're going to produce 30 movies a year, and it's like, really? All right,
yeah, that was Angel. He hit that one right on the nail with that. Whew.
Yeah, because it's like, again, you can crank out some bullshit and cover this quota. I would rather see them just, hey man, put out, like, let's say you could start with 20 quality seasons. All right. Well, because I don't think it's necessary to ramp it up this high, but I understand. They said it's amidst increasing demand. All right. Anime is growing. Anime is getting bigger and bigger. The demand is there. And so if you have studios right now, and all of these anime studios, they're all in the same boat. All of these cats over in Japan, they're all in the same boat. They see dollar signs. All they see is dollar signs. Okay. They know, hey man, this thing could go big. We have audiences all over the world, not just in the United States, not just in the West. You got them out there in the East. You got, China's trying to ramp up their anime production. Korea's trying to ramp up their anime production. People are watching it in India and Africa. People are watching anime all over the world, especially this current generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. It's their go-to. It's what they're going to. And, Hollywood, everybody's like, cool. You know what? We don't need Hollywood anymore. We're going to go watch anime. But by doing that, now you have created this demand that all of these studios are going to want to tap into and capitalize on. And I don't know, man, it makes me a little nervous. I'll be very honest with you. It makes me nervous to see how this thing is going to play out when it comes to, the quality, because the last thing we want is shitty anime.
Also, D, like you said, with the size of the anime increasing, the scope, we've mentioned this before in the chat, with the scope increasing, a lot of investors are gonna be eyeing it now. Like Hollywood's starting to take notice after Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man. Now that they know that this is viable, you also worry if they're gonna start getting their grubby hands onto like the production side or the creative side of things, saying like, we don't want that in there. Oh, censor that, cover that up. because and they're gonna probably have to cave because like that's where the money's coming from. So it's like, it's either you cave or you lose the money, which is like funding your production, which is what's keeping everything afloat. So that's another thing to worry about if they get too big, that they're gonna have to start relying on like foreign money. And I know anime is a big business within Japan, but we got a lot, like there are like foreign entities that have a lot of money who would love to have like that level of influence over the younger generation.
Budget Cat says successes for Toho like My Hero, JJK, and Apothecary Diaries, plus acquisitions like Sar and Saru proved lucrative, prompting a $489 million content investment over 3 years, including anime and Godzilla expansions. Exactly. But see, again, the question now becomes, Budget Cat, are these guys going to start asking, like, when they start making that content investment and people are investing in these anime studios, is that going to come with strings attached? There's enough problems in anime. We're going to get to the localizers in just a minute because Madam Savvy had an absolute epic rant, bro. And we're going to read that rant because that rant was perfect. But you start asking questions about it. Hey, is this going to lead to more problems down the line when it comes to localizers, when it comes to the content? What are they putting out there? Is it really going to still be Japan if you're getting a lot of foreign investment going into these studios? That's the question, man. That's the nervous. And on top of that, the quality. All right. Are we going to get some suffering from quality? So